Hi, welcome to the Indiana University Visitor Information Center. I'm Rochelle, and I'm going to be your guide as we take a walk around this beautiful campus of ours. You can find all kinds of information here about the campus, Bloomington, and the surrounding area. Our friendly staff is available, so ask questions, or call, or email us. The Visitor Center is open almost every day of the year, though we do close on a few days around the holidays. Make sure you bring along the campus tour map we have for you. The numbers on that map will correspond with the stops we'll be making. Each time we move from one location to another, you'll be prompted to press the pause button on your handheld device to give yourself time to walk to our next stop. You're really going to enjoy this tour because there's lots to see and learn about Indiana University. I'm majoring in international studies, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little biased when I tell you about certain buildings and programs. Are you ready? Let's walk out the doors and across the street, like this. It's not very far at all, so press pause now and come on over. These are the Sample Gates. They were built in 1987, a gift from a man named Edson Sample in memory of his parents. This is considered the official gateway into the campus, and that makes it a great place to begin our tour, so I can tell you more about the university. IU is one of the world's top research universities. It's a public university with 8 campuses across the state. IU was founded here in Bloomington in 1820. There are about 40,000 undergraduate and graduate students studying here. Aside from our outstanding academic reputation, we have Big Ten athletics. We have some of the world's best musical performances. And we have one of the nation's most beautiful campuses. Right now we're on the corner of Kirkwood and Indiana Avenues, one of the busiest intersections in town because it's where IU meets with downtown Bloomington. Looking down Kirkwood Avenue, you'll see all kinds of interesting shops and stores. That dome in the distance is the top of the Monroe County Courthouse and is the center of downtown Bloomington. Just 1 block south of Kirkwood Avenue is 4th Street. It is well known for the many sidewalk cafes that feature foods from all over the world. Bloomington is a very vibrant town, especially downtown. This building beside us is Bryan Hall, where the president, the provost, and many other campus administrators have offices. And on the other side of Bryan Hall is the Bloomington Law School. It's now time to walk through the Sample Gates and head into campus. So your next assignment is to take this sidewalk until you're right in front of the building with the tall clock tower. So go ahead and press pause now and press it again when you get there. We've moved up the sidewalk from the Sample Gates. You're now in the area known as the Old Crescent, one of the oldest and most beautiful areas on campus. The buildings wrap around this wooded area called Dunn Woods. IU bought this land from the Dunn family in the late 1800s, and this was once the entire campus of IU. Some of these buildings were built back in the 1880s, and like the Sample Gates, many of them were made of Indiana limestone. Just inside the Sample Gates is Franklin Hall. It's a busy place for students who go there to register for classes or pay bills or sign up for financial aid. The Overseas Study Office is in there. I know that because I was able to go to Senegal last year and they helped me find the right program, fill out the paperwork, and arrange for funding. This building beside us with the big clock tower is called the Student Building. In the old days, this was a popular student hangout because it housed several gymnasiums and a swimming pool. It was badly damaged by a fire in 1990, but it was rebuilt and is now home to the departments of Geography and Anthropology. Just to the right of the student building is Maxwell Hall. It's home to the University Division, Group Student Support Services, and Freshman Interest Groups. Most freshmen and transfer students come here to meet with advisors who help them choose a major and plan their classes. See that park bench right up there? I want you to take this sidewalk and walk up near that bench like this. Go ahead and press the pause button right now. And when you get here, press the pause button again, and I'll show you something really cool. Here we are again. If you look over here, you'll see that small limestone structure. It's called the Rosewell House. It was presented to the university by Theodore F. Rose, an IU alumnus who was a member of the Beta Theta Pi fraternity. He had the well house built in the shape of the Beta fraternity pin. You may already know the man sitting next to me. Herman B. Wells was IU's 11th president, our first university chancellor, and one of the most well-known figures in IU history. Not only did he transform IU into the world-class university it is today, he fought hard for academic freedom, he worked to increase diversity on campus, and he insisted on planting trees that make the campus beautiful. Some students think it's good luck to come here and touch Herman before a test. Okay, see that large building over there? That's the Indiana Memorial Union. I want you to walk through the large double doors, across the hallway, and out the doors on the other side, like this. Go ahead and press the pause button now, and when you get here, press it again. You've just had a quick peek at one small part of the Indiana Memorial Union, sometimes called the IMU. I just call it the Union. It's huge! It's the largest of its kind in the country. There's just about everything you can imagine in here. In this one tower alone, you'll find the Student Activities Office that oversees at least 500 different clubs and organizations on campus. IU has about 60 fraternities and sororities, and they have offices in this part of the Union building. Just one floor down from us is a bowling alley, a billiards game room, a food court, a computer lab, a hair salon, the IU bookstore, and wait a sec. Before I go any further, let's go down to the sidewalk at the bottom of the steps. Now look back at the Union and you'll get a better feel for what I'm talking about. There are several restaurants in there. There's a 186-room hotel. There are a lot of meeting rooms for conferences. There's a couple of coffee shops, an auditorium, a big dance hall, and the building has one of the world's largest art collections found outside of a museum. Students go in there to study, or hang out with others, see movies, or just grab a couch between classes and take a nap. We could spend the whole day wandering around looking at things in there, and you'll definitely want to come back and do that. But for now, we need to keep moving. Before we leave this spot, though, I want you to take a look over there at that large grassy area. That's Dunn Meadow. It's just a space where large outdoor gatherings can take place. Maybe an outdoor music concert, or maybe some kind of cultural or art fair. Most of the time, it's just a good spot to catch some sun or play frisbee with your dog. Our next stop is just up the sidewalk across the little street, and I'll meet you. And I'll meet you right here in front of the IU School of Journalism. Don't forget to hit the pause button. We're in front of Ernie Pyle Hall, home of the IU School of Journalism. The building is named for the famous World War II journalist who grew up in Indiana and attended IU. Writing for the award-winning IDS is a great way for students to get involved, and you don't have to be a journalism major to do it. It's pretty hard to get up and go to classes in the morning without at least a quick glance at the IDS. They print 45,000 copies of it Monday through Friday during the school year. Another 150,000 people read the IDS online every day. Another publication students can get involved with is the Arbutus Yearbook. It's named for the arbutus flower, which is native to this part of the country. More than 3,000 copies of the yearbook are printed and sold each year. Our next stop is across the street, up some steps, and halfway down the side of a big building. Watch carefully. I'll show you how to get there. Take your time getting here. There's lots to see on the way. Make sure you hit that pause button first. I hope you poked your head inside the doors of the Hyper building when you got here. Hyper stands for Health, Physical Education, Recreation, and IU was the first university in the country to have a school like that. This big building is the Wildermuth Intramural Center. It's one of two very large exercise facilities on campus that are free for students to work out, play basketball or racquetball, use weight machines, and whatever. The other large facility on campus is called the SRSC, the Student Recreational Sports Center. That building has everything they have in this building, but it also has an Olympic-sized swimming pool and diving well. A lot of intramural sports take place at the SRSC, too. A lot of students talk about the dozens of one-credit-hour classes they sign up for through Hyper, like Taekwondo, or ballroom dance, or fencing. But Hyper is also a national leader in the study of such things as kinesiology, sex research, and sports management. Our next stop isn't very far at all. See that red sculpture over there? That's called the IU Arc. Press pause now, and I'll meet you over there. Everyone needs a little culture. And the Art Museum gives students a taste of all kinds of art collections, from ancient jewelry and African masks to paintings by Monet and Picasso. Even the building itself is a work of art. It was designed by I.M. Pei, a world-famous architect. One really special thing about this building is that no two walls meet at a 90-degree angle. This is one of the top university art museums in the country. It's right here in the middle of campus, and admission is free. This is one of those buildings that you'll definitely want to visit when you have the whole day to spend. But for now, we're going to walk outside and around to the big grassy area behind the museum. This beautiful open space is called the Arboretum. It's one of the most gorgeous areas on campus, especially this time of year. With trees, a pond, a gazebo, and bike paths, it's another popular place to relax, study, or hang out. Before this was an arboretum, it was the site of the first Memorial Stadium, IU's first big football field and outdoor track. They used to run the Little 500 bike race here. In fact, this is where the Academy Award-winning movie Breaking Away was filmed. The Little 500 is the nation's largest intramural cycling event, and each spring, it's still known as the world's greatest college weekend. These days, the race is run in the Bill Armstrong Stadium, which is right up the road, out by the athletic complex. As long as we're here, let's walk on over to 10th Street, and I'll show you a few more buildings. See that little building way up there at the end of the sidewalk? That was easy. Now press pause and you try it. We're on the corner of 10th Street and Fee Lane, another big intersection here in town. And this just happens to be my good friend Amanda. Hey Amanda.
Hi Rochelle.
What can you tell us about this side of campus?
Well, I am a business major, so I spend all of my time right over there. That's the Kelly School of Business. The big arch that crosses over Fee Lane connects the Kelly School with the Godfrey Graduate and Executive Education Center, which is part of the business school. If you go under the arch and go north on Fee Lane, you'll pass by some of IU's biggest residence halls. You'll also wind up at the athletic complex, where we play basketball in Assembly Hall and football in Memorial Stadium. Over here beside the Kelly School is the School of Public and Environmental Affairs, but we just call that SPIA.
You know, I'm in SPIA.
But the business school is better.
SPIA.
B School.
Whatever.
Anywho, there's a lot of other schools down 10th Street. There's psychology and geology and even informatics. It was a good seeing you, Rochelle, but I have to head to class now.
Well, thanks, Amanda. While you're in class, we're going to head to the Wells Library. If you're ready, follow me. We're going to head just up these stairs and inside the doors. Press pause now, and I'll see you there. We're just inside the Wells Library. There are 18 different libraries on campus, but it's the largest and considered the main library. It's also home to the School of Library and Information Science. This library is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there are more than 4 million books in this building. This is also where you'll find the Information Commons, a giant 2-floor technology center that's open around the clock every day. There are 350 computer workstations, there's a multimedia production lab, and technical consultants are available at all times. Students can access more than 400 databases and more than 40,000 electronic journals. Because the library is always open, there's a cafe for snacks and drinks. There's a cyber cafe where people check email and hang out. Almost the entire campus is covered with wireless internet access, so you'll see students working on laptop computers just about everywhere. This building is named in honor of former IU President Herman B. Wells, who understood the importance of providing resources that help people learn. In his day, that meant books and magazines. Today, it involves computers and new technology. Our next stop is right across the street, so let's go over to Wright Quad and see how most students live on campus. This is Wright Quad. It's one of 11 different residence halls on campus that range from just a few stories like this one to as much as 14 stories high. It's a proven fact that students who live on campus do better academically. That's why all freshmen are required to live on campus, and most of them live in residence halls, a great place to meet and make new friends. Some students choose to live in themed communities where they are surrounded by others who study the same things. Students here have access to academic support centers that offer free tutoring, academic counseling, and other services. More than 500 classes are actually taught in the residence halls each year. Dorm rooms all have internet, telephone, and cable TV connections. Nearly all floors have an RA, or residence assistant, who can help make the adjustment to college life much easier. The residence halls are really just neighborhoods with basketball, tennis, and sand volleyball courts. There are free music and movie rentals, and each residence hall has its own student government. There are plenty of places on campus to eat. Students can buy what we call iBucks that let them purchase food and other items using their ID card. It gives them flexibility about when and where and what they eat. iBucks are used in cafeterias and specialty food courts all over campus. Students can also use their iBucks in certain places off campus. I want to tell you about even more opportunities for students. So let's walk this way. I'm now on the corner of 7th Street and Jordan Avenue. Press pause now and press it again when you get here. We're just across the street from a building that houses both the Lee Norvell Theater and Drama Center and the Neil Marshall Black Culture Center. This is a building bustling with activity. On one side, there are two brand new state-of-the-art theaters and theater production facilities. On the other side, the Neil Marshall Center is named in honor of the first male and female African-American graduates of IU, Marcellus Neal and Francis Marshall. Students from all ethnic backgrounds come to the center to participate in educational, cultural, and social programs that are intended to increase awareness of African-American culture. Over there, across the street, is the Student Academic Center, where university staff work with students individually or in groups to learn skills that will help them with their classwork. Next to the Academic Center is the Office of Admissions, a pretty popular place for high school students and parents who are visiting campus and interested in attending IU. As we continue walking south on Jordan Avenue, the building in front of us is the Leo R. Dowling International Center, and it supports hundreds of international students who are studying at IU. Staff members help international students transition to life here in the United States, and there are events that give students a chance to show off their own cultures and interact with other students from their own countries. Just keep heading up this sidewalk until you reach the large fountain in front of the School of Music. I'll see you there. Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. We're in front of the Jacobs School of Music, the world's largest music school, and probably the best. This is Darren, another friend of mine. Hey, Darren.
Hey, Rochelle.
You're a music major. What can you tell us about the Jacobs School?
Yep, I study voice here at IU and couldn't imagine going to any other school on the planet.
Outstanding musicians and scholars are drawn here from around the world to teach, to learn, and to perform. There are more than 1,000 musical and theater performances each year on campus, many of which are free for students. The performance facilities here are the best too. For example, the Musical Arts Center, the MAC, is one of the crown jewels on campus because of its beauty, its acoustical design, and technical capabilities. Each year, the Jacobs School presents 8 fully staged operas and ballets. There are also concerts and orchestra performances in the MAC and other theaters that are part of the Jacobs School. The MAC is one of at least 5 buildings on campus that make up the Jacobs School. But the school is much more than performances. Music scholars conduct research here. Composers work on new music. Famous musicians come here to share their talents.
This school represents the very best in music, from the past as well as the future. It's really an exciting place.
Well, thanks, Darren. I guess I'll see you around.
Yeah, see you later.
Take care. We're now going to walk around behind the music school and show you another beautiful part of campus. Press pause now, and I'll meet you here. This is Bryan House, the traditional residence of most IU presidents. It was named for former IU president William Lowe Bryan, whose wife designed and built it in 1924. Most presidents have actually lived right here in the heart of campus. They say it helps them stay connected to students. The things that make this part of campus so beautiful are the trees and the Jordan River that winds its way through the center of campus. It's named for David Starr Jordan, another former IU president. It's not unusual to see students sitting around here studying by themselves or in groups. This is another part of campus that shows how the university cares about history and the environment through the preservation of its green spaces. We're going to take this path over the river and through the woods. And we'll wind up here in front of the IU Auditorium. Try to resist the temptation of playing in the water on your way over. Now we're at the heart of the arts culture on campus. This is the Fine Arts Plaza. Showalter Fountain, with its statue of Venus rising up out of the middle, is the centerpiece. We're in front of the IU Auditorium, where students come to see an impressive number of performances like Broadway shows, cool bands and musicians, famous speakers, and special ceremonies. Students get discounts on tickets for performances, and students can get into the shows free by volunteering as ushers. The Henry Radford Hope School of Fine Arts is the academic side of art on campus, offering degrees in art history and a large variety of studio arts like painting, or sculpture, or jewelry. There's also a gallery in there where students and faculty can show off their talents. Across the plaza from the School of Fine Arts is the Lilly Library, which houses unique rare books, manuscripts, and many collections. Most of the people who use this library are scholars, but almost everything in there is also available to IU students and the general public. There's always some kind of special exhibit in the Lilly Library. You can even see the most famous book on campus, a one-of-a-kind copy of the Gutenberg Bible. Our next stop is just next door, so press pause now. And meet me right here. This majestic building is Woodburn Hall. Many years ago, it was the first home of the IU School of Business. Now it houses political science, and my major, international studies, is in there too. Feel free to walk into the building and look around. The largest lecture hall on campus is in this building. On the walls of that room are some very famous murals that were painted by Thomas Hart Benton back in 1933 for the Chicago World's Fair. They depict a part of Indiana history. Not only does Woodburn have large lecture halls, but it also has some of the smallest and most intimate classrooms on campus. Generally speaking, freshman classes are the largest, then they seem to get smaller as students progress through their sophomore, junior, and senior years. One great thing about IU is the amount of personal attention and one-on-one interaction with professors, even in the largest of classes. Professors keep office hours for students to come and talk about class issues. Our next stop is just up there in the corner. It's a short walk, so don't forget to hit pause. You just can't be a student on this campus without having at least one class in there. That's Ballantine Hall. When it was built in 1959, it was the largest college classroom building in the world. It's still the largest classroom building on campus. At 10 stories tall, Ballantine towers over campus. The first 4 floors are filled with classrooms, and the other 6 floors house many departments and professors' offices. This is truly the heart of campus, a real crossroads for bikes and foot traffic. Students can get from here to just about anywhere else on campus in 15 minutes or less. Just across the street from Ballantine Hall is Beck Chapel, which welcomes people of every faith. This serene building is open every day of the week for study, prayer, or quiet reflection. Not surprisingly, it's actually open around the clock during finals week each semester. Lots of people get married here, especially IU alumni who met their sweethearts here on campus. Just outside the chapel is something you don't often find on a college campus, a graveyard. This cemetery belonged to the Dunn family, the same family that sold IU this land back in the 1800s. The last burial that took place here was in 1999.
If you're facing this way, the chemistry building is behind you. We're going to walk up around behind the chemistry building right now. Pretty cool, huh? Press pause now, and I'll meet you here. We're almost finished with our tour now, but it's not too late to show you one of the most important spots on campus, right here. On this side of the sidewalk, we have the chemistry building. And over here on this side, the new Simon Hall.
Every time you brush your teeth, you have a connection with our chemistry building. Back in the 1940s, IU scientists figured out how to put fluoride in toothpaste to protect against tooth decay. Today, cutting-edge research is still going on inside these walls. IU is also a world leader in the development of new tools for conducting scientific research. Next door to chemistry is Simon Hall, one of the newest buildings on campus. This building is filled with specially designed life sciences laboratories that promote collaboration between scientists from many different disciplines.
Look around you. It's no coincidence that Simon Hall was built right here. Back down there is Jordan Hall. That's biology. This building is Myers Hall, medical sciences. Back through the trees is Swain Hall, physics and math. And this building right here is Lindley Hall, computer science.
Philosophically, Simon Hall represents the future of the university, where different fields of study are brought together from around the campus, from around the country, and from around the world.
We have one more stop to make. It's a familiar one, and it's right over here. Touch pause now and meet me back here. Well, here we are, almost back where we've started. Trust me, there are so many places we have not seen on this beautiful campus, and I'm sure you'll want to come back for a closer look at the places we did visit. If you have any questions about anything you've seen or heard on the tour today, our friendly and helpful staff at the Visitor Information Center will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
We have all kinds of resources to share with you at the center. We have brochures with details about many different programs and activities on campus. We have printed guides that will help you explore Bloomington and surrounding areas, even nearby parks. We have computers so you can look up additional materials online. The Visitor Information Center is a comfortable place where you can just rest and relax, maybe even watch TV for a while.
I sure hope you've enjoyed the tour today because I certainly enjoyed being your guide. And I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to show you my Indiana University.